Om Shanti. Essence of Murli. Sweet children, the Father has come to give you the third eye of knowledge, through which you become wise and come to know the beginning, the middle, and the end of the world. Question is, what is the easy way to make both the soul and the body pure and claim a right to a royal status? Answer is, exchange everything worth straws that you have, including your body. Hand everything over to the Father. Fully sacrifice yourself. Make the Father your trustee. Continue to follow Srimad, and both the soul and the body will become pure and you will claim a royal status. Janak surrendered himself and received liberation in life. When you children make the Father your heir, you will receive all rights for 21 births. Song is, show the path to the blind ones, dear God. Om Shanti. You children heard the song. Devotees call out to God because of not knowing God accurately. People are so unhappy. They continue to beat their heads so much on the path of devotion. It is not a question of just this one birth. They have been wandering around from the time that the path of devotion began. It was only in Bharat that there was the kingdom of worthy of worship deities. That was called heaven, the land of truth. Bharat is now the land of falsehood. The praise of Bharat is very great because it is the birthplace of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. His real name is Shiv. People celebrate Shiv Jayanti. It is not called Rudra or Somnath Jayanti. It is called Shiv Jayanti or Shivratri. Now all are without sight and without an intellect because the five vices have entered them. Ravan has made them without sight or intellect. They continue to cause sorrow for one another. When Bharat was heaven, there was no mention of sorrow. It is heavenly God, the Father, who establishes heaven. The God of all devotees has to be one. All are without sight. They don't have the eye of knowledge or divine insight. God speaks, I teach you Raj Yoga. The Srimad Bhagavad Gita is the main one. Shri means you are now made wise by elevated directions. The divine eye means you are given the third eye of knowledge. In fact, you Brahmins receive the third eye of knowledge, through which you know the Father and the beginning, the middle and the end of the Father's creation. At this time, it is the ego of the body and the five vices that are omnipresent. This is why all are in extreme darkness. You children are enlightened. You souls know the history and geography of the whole world. Previously, all of you were ignorant. When the Satguru gives the ointment of knowledge, the darkness of ignorance is dispelled. Those who were worthy of worship have become worshippers. Those who are worthy of worship are in the light, and those who are worshippers are in darkness. God Himself is not called a worthy of worship one who then becomes a worshipper. He is supremely worthy of worship, the one who makes everyone else worthy of worship. He is called supremely worthy of worship, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. Krishna cannot be called this. No one would call him God, the Father. Everyone only calls incorporeal God, God the Father. He too is a soul, but because he is the Supreme, he is called the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. The form of souls and the Supreme Soul is the same. We are definitely souls, and God is the one who always resides in the Supreme Abode. In English, he is called the Supreme Soul. The Father says, you have been singing that souls remain separated from the Supreme Soul for a long time. It isn't that God remained separated from God for a long time. No. The foremost ignorance is to say that souls are the Supreme Soul and that the Supreme Soul is the soul. Souls enter the cycle of birth and rebirth. God doesn't take rebirth. The Father sits here and explains, you people of Bharat were worthy of worship, residents of heaven. All of this is therefore the godly family. Acha, tell me, whom do you call the mother and father? Who says this? It is the soul that says, you are the mother and father, and we receive a lot of happiness of heaven through your mercy. We did receive a lot of happiness in heaven. You, the mother and father, come and establish heaven, and so we become your children. The Father says, I only come at the confluence age and teach you Raj Yoga for the new world. The Father comes and explains, you have forgotten me. You people celebrate my Shiv Jayanti, that is, birthday of Shiv, in Bharat, do you not? Shivratri, that is, night of Shiv, is also remembered. Which night? This is the unlimited night of Brahma. He comes at the confluence age and changes night into day. That is, he changes hell into heaven. No one knows the meaning of Shivratri. God is incorporeal. The names of the bodies of human beings change birth after birth. The Supreme Soul says, I don't have a name for a body. My name is always Shiv. I simply take the support of an old, retired body. This one was worthy of worship and has now become a worshipper. Shiv Baba comes and creates heaven. We are his children, and so we should surely be the masters of heaven. Should we not? Shiv Baba is the highest on high. The parts of Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar are their own. Each actor has his own individual part. Each soul's part of happiness is fixed. The Father comes every cycle and makes the residents of Bharat into the residents of heaven. People have forgotten him. They say, so and so has become a resident of heaven. Oh, but it is now hell. And so he would surely take rebirth in hell too. Would he not? So why do you feed that soul the food of hell? In heaven they have so many physical comforts. So why do you invoke that soul here and feed him the food of hell? You feed an impure Brahmin priest and you feed him with onions, etc. These things do not exist there. Therefore, just look at the condition of Bharat. God speaks, I am now giving you the third eye of knowledge. You will then become the kings of kings once again. Deities have taken 84 births and change from worthy of worship to worshippers. You know that we became Shiv Baba's heirs. Shiv Baba made us into residents of heaven, and this is why everyone remembers him and says, "O God, the Father, have mercy." Even holy men make spiritual endure, because there is sorrow here. They want to go to the land of Nirvana. A soul cannot merge into the Supreme Soul. To think that is a mistake. You now say, we souls are residents of the Supreme Abode. We souls will go into the deity clan and then take 84 births again. From the deity clan, we souls will then go into the warrior, merchant and Shudra clans. Shiv Baba doesn't enter birth and rebirth. He simply comes and makes Bharat into heaven. It is remembered there was the Sun dynasty kingdom of Sri Lakshmi and Narayan in the golden age, just as there were Edward I, II, III in the Christian dynasty. In the same way, there are Lakshmi and Narayan the first, second, third there. In this way, there is a dynasty of 8. The third eye of each of you Brahmins has now opened. The Father sits here and speaks to you souls. While going around the cycle of 84 births, this is how many births you have taken. They have made a picture of the different clans in which they show the deity, warrior, merchant and Shudra clans. You now know that we Brahmins are the top knot. At this time, we are God's children in a practical way. We are now receiving a lot of happiness through Raj Yoga and knowledge. Some claim the inheritance of a Sun dynasty king and queen, and others claim that of the Moon dynasty. The whole kingdom is being established. Each of you will claim that status through your own efforts. If any of you asks what status you would receive if you were to leave your body while studying, Baba could tell you. Only through yoga will your lifespan increase and your sins also be absolved. There is no other way to become pure from impure. By saying purifier, you remember God, but no one knows who God is. The Father says, I come in Bharat. This is my birthplace. The Somnath temple was so beautiful. Only the Father explains all of this to you children. Scriptures of this are then made later on. All of those memorials began to be created on the path of devotion. When people become worshippers, they first build a temple to Somnath, that is, Lord of Nectar. Bharat was very wealthy in the golden and silver ages. They had limitless wealth in the temples. Bharat was as valuable as a diamond. It is now poverty-stricken, worth shells. The Father has come and is once again making Bharat as valuable as a diamond. The whole tree has reached the state of total decay. The Father says, look at your face in the mirror. Are you worthy of marrying Lakshmi or Narayan? There is the story of Narad. How could an impure soul marry pure Lakshmi or Narayan? When you indulge in vice, your passport is cancelled. You have to look at yourself. Am I making such effort that I can be seated on the throne of Mamma and Baba? This is the impure world. Purity is the main thing. There is now no health no wealth, no happiness. This kingdom is like a mirage. There is the story of Duryodhan in the scriptures about this. Duryodhan is someone who indulges in vice. Draupadi says, "Protect my honor." These are Draupadi's. The father explains so well to the extent that your intellects are connected fully in yoga. Accordingly, you will also be able to imbibe. Knowledge is studied in a state of celibacy. The father says, while living at home with your family, live like a lotus. Fulfill your responsibility to both sides. You definitely have to die. When a person is about to die, he is given a mantra. The father says, all of you are going to die. I, the death of all deaths, will take everyone back. Therefore, you should be happy. Should you not? Those who study well will become the masters of heaven. Those who don't study will claim the status of subjects. You have come here to claim a royal status. This is a study. There is no question of blind faith here. This study is for claiming a kingdom. You have an aim and objective in other studies. When you are to become a barrister, you have to connect your yoga to the teacher who teaches you. Similarly here, God is teaching you, and so you have to have yoga with Him. The Father says, I come from the Supreme Abode, from very far away. The Supreme Abode is so high. It is even higher than the subtle region. It takes me a second to come from there. Nothing can be faster than Him. I give you liberation in life in a second. There is the example of Jannah. It is now hell, the old world. Heaven is called the new world. The Father inspires the destruction of hell and the establishment of heaven. However, what would you receive by saying that He is omnipresent? Nothing at all. The Father comes and makes you into the masters of heaven, whereas all other souls will go to the land of peace. Souls are immortal and have received an eternal power. So, how could souls be bigger or smaller? A soul is a star. They cannot be any bigger or smaller. You are God fatherly students. God the Father is knowledgeful and blissful. He is now teaching you. You know that in this way we will become deities once again. You are serving Bharat. First of all, you have to belong to the Father. In other places, people go to gurus. They belong to them. That is, people make them their gurus. Here, there is the Father, and so you first have to become the Father's children. The Father gives you children His property. The Father says, children, exchange everything. Everything of yours worth straws is mine. Everything of mine is yours. Give me whatever you have, including your body. I will purify you souls and your bodies too, and then also give you a royal status. Sacrifice whatever you have. Make me your trustee and follow my Shrimad. Janak surrendered himself together with his kingdom, and so he received liberation in life. Baba, all of this is yours. You say, make me your heir. I make you my heir for 21 births. Simply follow my directions. You may do your business, go abroad, do anything you want, but simply follow my directions. You have to remain cautious. Maya will repeatedly make you fall. You must not commit any sins. follow Srimad at every step and you will become elevated. The Father is the bestor. He simply makes you trustees. You say, God has given this wealth and this child, etc. Now God says, give everything to me. I will exchange it for you. I promise that when you follow Srimad, I will make you so elevated. This is Raj Yoga. Lakshmi and Narayan became that through this Raj Yoga. Birla himself, who built the Lakshmi and Narayan temple, doesn't know how Lakshmi and Narayan became so wealthy. The Father now explains, the poor ones here will become wealthy there. Everything of the wealthy ones is to turn to dust. Acha. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the mother, the father, Baap Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says Padam Guna, love, remembrance, good morning and Namaste to our most beloved, the spiritual, the mother, the father and Baap Dada. Acha, Om, Shanti. Essence for Dharana. Number 1 is, in order to be seated on the throne of the mother and father, you have to imbibe purity. Fulfill your responsibility to both sides and pay full attention to the study. Second is, do not commit any sins. Remain very cautious and continue to follow Srimad. Definitely become a trustee. Blessing is, may you be an embodiment of all attainments and reveal the sparkle and intoxication of the complete and perfect stage on your face. The speciality of the confluence-aged Brahmin life is of constantly swinging in the swings of happiness and peace, joy, knowledge and bliss, and of the remaining stable in the imperishable intoxication of the complete and perfect form of all attainments. Let there be attainment and only attainment on your face. Let the sparkle and the intoxication of that complete and perfect stage be visible. There was a sparkle on the faces of kings who were full of physical wealth. Here you have imperishable attainments, and so let the spiritual sparkle and intoxication of attainments be visible on your face. Slogan is, those who remain constantly happy and share the treasures of happiness are the ones who have the fortune of happiness. Acha, Om, Shanti. My Baba, sweet Baba, beloved Baba, Padam Guna, Padam Guna, Padam Guna. Thank you Baba, thank you Baba, thank you Baba. Acha, Om, Shanti.